This getting fat shit and then being fat as an adult, it's very inconvenient. To anybody watching, if you think you're fat, start losing the weight now. The amount of time it takes to dedicate around the adult schedule is crazy. I severely underestimated like how long it takes to lose the weight, because in high school, like I burn off 50 pounds in 2 months. Like what? I just never took it seriously. And now I'm sitting there, I'm like, what do you mean I gotta wait 6 months, this and that? It's like, bro, you don't have a full day of no bills to just go tear your body up and then go sleep for 10 hours. You feel me? Like, rent gotta get paid, cell phone bill, and then like, other stuff. So kind of different working out now. Like I said, I have to do a lot more discipline, making sure I get to the gym, making sure I'm aware of everything I'm doing. And just because I'm busier, there's a lot more excuses that can seem valid as to why I could keep not prioritizing my fitness. But ultimately what I learned is you get what you prioritize. I kept telling myself once I'm less busy, I'll get fit. Nope. Put on an extra like 40 pounds. So I'm not falling for that trap again. And again, when I did the diets before, the crash diets work to crash. I'm not trying to crash. I'm trying to cruise control. And it's really just like, okay, if I just get down to where I got abs, if I don't see abs, I know I got to dial it back. Versus when you big already, you just be eyeballing it like, I don't look that fat. Meanwhile, you put on 10 pounds and then it just keep getting worse and worse and worse. So I was like, man, we're not doing that again. We're just going to get the weight off and learn how to maintain as a lifestyle. I'm okay with not being a foodie. I'm okay with not having a variety of food options because I'm tired of wearing a variety of sizes. So I just want to be disciplined, man. We're going to get it right, get it right. Next set coming up. Another thing is like, as long as you get it in, I think that's all that matters. Ideally, if you could knock out the gym the same time every time, that would be ideal. But I'm at a point like, dog, I either can get it in before work or after work. I typically like going after work. I don't know why. I just like knocking it out before I go home. I do like going in the morning, but it got to be like around 8. Just the way I can access the machines I need to work with. And that's really the only benefit I like to going at the odd hours. Obviously, when everybody's in here and it's a nightclub, it's hard to really get your machine and what set you want to do. But other than that, man, just make sure you get it in. You know you better than you. As long as you get it in, you're good. Also, it's like going to the gym consistently and eating healthy. Like, it's really a shock not hating myself after meals. I'm so used to eating food, feeling guilty for being full, and repeating the cycle that it just feels different. Like, I'm like, damn, bro, you really ate rice all week and you're losing weight. And I'm like, I'm checking the scale, like, are you sure? And it's there. And that's the thing is like, not getting in the way of what's working. Our old self, that's what we're battling against with consistency, trying to prove to ourselves that we can take our word for it and we don't have to revert. So every day I'm laying a brick, not only towards the body, which will come, but towards the me gaining back the trust that I've, broken in myself the last how many years from not doing it the right way. And promising and breaking those promises. This is set number 3. I'm doing a lot more glute stuff. I can go ass to grass, no problem, but again, I got to really challenge that glute. So I try to get a little bit more parallel below where I feel that stretch and I feel those fibers firing off. So I widen the stance a little bit too. It really makes sure I'm hitting it. And then pause.
I don't know why I just said that, then looked into the camera as if this isn't going to the police. I'm probably going to jail. Goodbye.
And then I go do the hamstring curls to double up on it. I might do some RDL.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and skip over this yapathon. Sometimes I do like to hear myself talk, but not this much. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short.
And one set of biceps. I really don't want my arm any bigger than this. I just want to cut it up. And I just like how the arm look when you get the bicep, nice and right. You feel me? So we're just gonna chisel into this. I think I got enough width on there. Down the line, if I feel like making the arms bigger, I know I can. But yeah, I just want to chisel this up. But last set coming up right now. That'd be the craziest thing. I'd be like, I know about working out. It's just that nutrition, boy. I was terrible. Nutrition was horrible. And again, that's why I say you can't outwork a bad diet. It is not a one-to-one correlation between the gym and the kitchen. You can't eat bad and then say, I'm going to go burn it off in the gym. The gym is to build muscle or tone the muscle, and cardio is just to improve cardiovascular health. The diet is the diet. They work hand in hand marvelously, but you can't overcompensate one for the other. That's been my biggest thing I learned. You can do what I was doing, which is trying to outwork it and, I'm going to just keep working out. You're going to be just fatter just like me, or how I was. So, because the hamstring curl, it's just a bicep curl, it's just the pain is worse in your legs. But yeah, man, it's like when I have to dedicate all this extra time, I could be worried about anything else. Like I could use all this energy it would take to get in shape to deal with some other stuff, But health is important. I used to always think people were tripping when they would say, you're only as young as you feel. And that joint is for real. Like anytime, even when I was on the crash diets or whatever, I started losing weight. I felt better, felt youthful, more energy. But a lot of the times we just be out of shape. Like the biggest thing that used to piss me off was just being winded by a flight of stairs. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like just one flight of stairs to tear me a new one. Pause. And I'll be sitting there, I'm like, bro, I can't be that big. And then somebody would take a picture of me somewhere and I'll be like, delete that photo. Because it looks like there's 7 of me in one angle. And I could only deal with that for so long, looking at pictures like, man, maybe there's a way I could post it where if I turn all the way to the side, they won't see me. My belly come in 3D, bro. That joint is embarrassing. All right, next set. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So yeah, it's just like, man, it's just more inconvenient being out of shape and not looking the way I want more frequently than I would like. With social media, obviously you see fit bodies all the time, but what really gets me is even outside of social media, I got to see me every single day, to the point where I would shower with the lights off sometimes because I'm like, well, maybe if I don't look at the belly, it'll go away. I got to turn on them lights sometimes. So I was like, why run from myself when I could just take the opportunity to improve myself, Oh, shoot. I could just take this opportunity, improve myself, and not have to avoid me, because I got to be me every day. But again, that's what like the mental burden being out of shape puts on you is way bigger than people talk about. Like, it's not just some, my clothes don't fit. It's like, bro, my mind don't fit the reality I'm living, So every day I feel better though, because I'm doing what I said I'm going to do. I'm sticking to the plan, so I'm letting the plan and the system do the heavy lifting, so I can just learn and enjoy the process. All right, third set. This one kind of whooping me. Form is king. All right. I used to tell myself, I don't want to be tired. That's why I'm not going to work out. And it was like, well, I'm already tired not working out. It's already no energy to get through the day. So if I'm going to be tired of working out, at least it'll make sense why I'm tired. And like, I used to be so afraid because I'm like, nah. That's why I used to come in the gym and just kind of like do whatever. Like, I'd be in the gym, I'm moving the weights, but I'm not really working out, What's crazy is like actually pushing myself. I'm starting to feel a little bit more energy, or just the fact that like even if I'm weary or tired, I can still function normally and more calmly. Ain't it crazy? You push yourself and you get better. Who would have thought, Rome? All right, so we have to pivot to shoulders. My legs are toast. Like there's nothing left in there. I like to call it I've hit the off point. And to all my athletes or former athletes out there, you know what it's like when you work a muscle. And it's not even that there's failure. It's like there's nothing in there. Like the muscle's off. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoulders are a very tiny muscle. They respond well to volume. I'm not in here trying to lift 40s on the shoulders. That's just dumb. If anybody gets in the comments like, oh, go heavy, like fight me. That'd be a lot of it. I don't like getting in the who can lift more games. Like, square up, bro. Not that I'm promoting that, but a lot of the times in football, it'd be a lot of people that can lift more than me, but I'll be smacking them around on the field. So I'm just all like, clearly that's not everything. But yeah, I'm just in my bodybuilder mode right now. We're just gonna build the physique. Naturally, the strength is already there. Like I didn't already put it. I don't max out. I don't encourage anybody to max out. It doesn't prove nothing. Like, yeah, if somebody doesn't, let's say you get into altercation, somebody just has no guard and you get a free swing, yeah, your max might count. But if you can't squabble, get a little, and then I don't really care how much you lift. All right, next set. And again, I done got beat up in the gym by dudes who was 145. It'd be dudes actually, let me go up a little bit. It'd be dudes a whole 100 pounds less than me giving me the blues. At the end of the day, your chin don't lift weights. You'd be surprised just how much like wind you need to actually stay in a fight for the full minute. Like a lot of people think they could squabble. It's like, bro, if somebody just walks around you with all that adrenaline going and baits a jab out of you, you're gonna be tired. I guarantee the average person who thinks they go to the gym, does a little lifting, you get into altercation, so I know what they're doing. They'll just jab you, have you freak out. 30, 40 seconds, you're gonna start. So the gym, again, this is just to tone and build the body to the physique you want. If you want to get the squabbles, there's alleys and gyms. Leave all that ego lifting. It's not going to do nothing for you. But yeah, the muscle is completely off. Yeah, the RDL's really taxed it, and which is good though. Like I like working the muscle out. One thing I have to catch myself is not taxing it to the point where it's off and now I'm sacrificing form and being ignorant. That's not what we want to do. We just want to go to as far as we're capable of that kind of work and failure. All right, last set on these and then Stairmaster. We might not even do the Stairmaster. It might be a treadmill type of day because my legs is not having it. I was on the Stairmaster yesterday, and that's another thing. Just getting the work done. Stairmaster, treadmill, doesn't matter. Just get the work done. All right, y'all, we made it to the cardio section of the workout. So the goal is to get in. Right now I'm on my 20 minutes steady state. What that looks like is just trying to maintain heart rate of like 100, 130 realistically beats per minute to 140. So that's zone 2. That's the zone you want to be in. So where you can have a conversation and it's low energy, low cortisol on the body, so it's not going to tax you and raise stress and block fat burning, and it pulls on the fat a lot better. Um, and realistically, if you wanted to be on some like whatever I don't want to do, just walk, bro. If you just walk 20 minutes, that'll be half the battle. Because even before I used to do the zone 2, there was times where I would just walk a mile on the treadmill. I wouldn't even eat all the way decent. Like I'd eat probably once, twice a day, and walk a mile, and like the weight was starting to come off, and I was like, damn. But again, right now we're just being very intentional. So zone 2 is the name of the game. Right now, gotta up it a little bit. The thing I like about the Stairmaster is we're easy to snap the heart rate into exactly where you want it to. Treadmill's not bad. Like I'm doing it after a workout, so there's already blood pumping through the body, so I'm kind of good there. But yeah, man, this has just been the grind. And like I said, in terms of the overall journey, I actually understand it now. Like before, I used to just think, all right, I'm gonna lose the weight, and then that's it. I'm gonna just hate my life and never eat food again. But it's like, no. Right now, I'm in a fat loss phase. So it's basically I'm just cutting and working out and cutting, so my body pulls on excess calories stored in the fat. Once I get to the fat loss phase, I'm gonna take down the calories every time I stall up until a point where it's all like, all right, bro, we didn't do what we could, and then I'm gonna reverse the diet. So that's where we gradually start adding a little bit more calories every week, so that the body doesn't just put on fat, and we use it to build muscle, so that when I'm at that new lower weight, I can maintain it with higher calories. And you give the body a break. Like I said, I'll talk to my coaches. You give the body a break for a little bit, and then you cut again. So that way it's all okay. You might have been at like 16%. You maintained it, and you cut down to 13 on another fat loss phase. And then after that fat loss phase, you reverse the diet again to where now you can eat regular calories, but you're at a much leaner physique. So when I understood that, I was like, oh, like I'm not just essentially gonna punish myself. Like there's gonna come a time where I'm gonna be able to eat more. And I ain't gonna hold you, when you're actually tracking the calories and everything, it's a lot of food and 2,200 calories. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, a lot of rice, a lot of protein, like it's a lot of food. And then honestly, if you use vegetables right, like I cook them, like I don't do oils or nothing, but I season them properly. You make the vegetables taste good with the protein, like on some Thanksgiving stuff, not with all the oils. You really won't mind eating vegetables and like the right foods all the time. Like I be looking forward to eat at home now, which is crazy. I'll go to the grocery store to like, I could cook this up, make it taste good. If I want burgers, I just get beef. And that's the cool thing, like with beef, if what I'm learning is, if you get like the high quality, the high end, like super lean, like 93.7, it's not gonna hit like a fast food burger, but it's still like good beef. If you want something a little bit more fatty, then the 80-20, that's like your typical in and out. It has a little bit more flavor because of the fat, but again, just fit it into your macros. It do taste good mustard fried, like the 80-20 mustard fried, that joint go. But playing with the recipes like that. So I gotta challenge myself to figure out a new chicken recipe, because I'm trash when it comes to seasoning chicken. I'm good with like steaks and beef on how to season those, but chicken, outside of like the rotisserie one they got at Costco, I gotta figure out a way to make my own blend. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. This is just me at the gym. Like I said, I'm gonna keep these vlogs going. And again, I'm glad that I'm getting this done now, because being 33, it's not like when I was 20 and I could say I could do it next year. Like I'm closer to 40 than I'm closer to 22. You know what I'm saying? So just being more intentional with my time and just really being grateful. Like I used to not look at it that way because I had a sense of entitlement. Like, oh, well, the weight should come off tomorrow because that's when I want it. It's like, well, I didn't gain the weight overnight. I just wasn't paying attention. I had a system of chaos that
steadily added the weight. So now it's like, okay, adopting a system of health, I can undo 10 years of being fat with tits in 6 months. That's a fair trade-off, bro. And then again, I think the biggest lesson is just it's always easier to maintain than it is to restart. I think, just coming up from the hood, I'm just so used to forcing myself to put myself in a bind or super pressure to get the best out of me. And it's just like, that's not healthy. You can only do that so long before your brain's just like, bro, figure it out somewhere else. Now I'm understanding like you'd rather be bored maintaining because the system will continue to do the heavy lifting than go through the stress swings of now I have to pay a higher cost to get back to baseline, and again, like when you're leaner, you could eat what you want on some, like if you had a cheat meal every week and lived a healthy lifestyle, you'd be okay. But it's knowing that you won't even want to do that, which is the biggest thing. Like I think what was holding me back was I still wanted to hold on to old habits and move forward. And it's like, it don't work like that. Because, somewhere along the line, I convinced myself like the only way for me to enjoy food is if I could eat fast food all the time or pizza and stupid stuff. And it's like, bro, if you break down those ingredients, it's just bread, salt, and oil with meat. You can make that at home 90% less damaging and have the same satiety. You know what I'm saying? So relearning that I can still eat good food at home and enjoy my life is cool. And like, again, if I got to give up being able to eat out anywhere I want all the time and be able to fit the clothes I want to wear at any time, I'm going to go with the latter, bro. That's a fair trade-off. Because I want to be the type of person that's like, bro, summer, winter, rainfall, I can take my shirt off. I don't care what season it is, I got abs. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, I might be stuffed after Thanksgiving, but I know in 3 days, my abs are coming back. That type of certainty that type of certainty is just way less taxing on the mind. Because again, I cannot stress this enough. Being able to not live in a binge cycle is refreshing, dude. Like the amount of energy I just wasted for years, just looping that binge cycle of eating, hating myself, binging, being too restricted, because I just didn't have a plan and I was trying to get fast results. Nothing worth having comes instantly. Like you can't grow a tree overnight, you can't have a baby overnight. You can get somebody pregnant overnight, but the baby itself takes 9 months, you know what I'm saying? So just understanding the time and just, it's kind of exciting too, man. Like every day I wake up, I'm like, damn, I'm really another day closer to making it happen. Like even just last week, that was my first week doing the 6-day split. And now I'm like, damn, this is halfway through my second 6-week split. Like, what is my body going to look like in just 4 weeks? Talk less of 6. So now I'm more excited for the progress over time. Like, I know I'm going to hit my goal, but just seeing the changes. Like, the scale's doing what it's supposed to do. The measurements are doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm actually not afraid of the scale anymore. Like, I still be a little apprehensive just because it's crazy to me that I'm eating rice and losing weight. But knowing that I can actually use it for its intended purpose, which is just accountability. Like, hey, if you go on there and it stalls for a week, cool, then we just need to pull a lever, either up the cardio or drop the calories by 200. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I should be good just because I think I dropped 3.5 pounds this week. My calorie maintenance moving this much is like 3,000 calories. Right now, I'm at 21. But I give myself a buffer. If I go to 22, it's not going to be the end of the world. Because for whatever reason, like this week, I was under eating. Like, I would be so full off the volume of my first meal, it would be hard for me to get in the other meals. Now, it's good and bad because, yeah, I'm eating less. But if you're too under caloried, your body will adjust to a point where it'll just stall you out. So the goal is to lose as much weight as you can on the most amount of calories. That way you have room to pull levers. counterintuitive, but this has been working because throwing the kitchen sink, there's no more levers for you to pull. Like, I'm not finna be doing 2 hours of cardio, bro. It's never gonna happen. You damn near might not get an hour out of me. I'm cool with the 20, 30 minutes over time and increasing it. And sure, like if I'm trying to lean out up in it, but for a lifestyle, I can do 20, 30 minutes of zone 2 cardio. Like, that ain't gonna hurt me. And that's what makes it doable and sustainable. Like, even my workouts now, it's all like, okay, once I get down to a lean physique, just so y'all know, it's so much easier to maintain muscle. You just gotta like stimulate it. You don't even gotta hit failure. Like, you really just gotta have some working sets and some volume 4 or 5 days a week. You just maintain muscle, and because muscle costs a lot on the body, you got somewhere for our energy to go from the food. And I was like, damn, so you mean to tell me I'm about to put in this, I'm gonna front load it, and then I get to maintain the progress forever? Like, that's just because I'm gonna keep working out. And like an upper lower split is really not bad at all. Chest and back, so 2 exercises on chest, 2 exercises on back. That's 1 workout day. Or I can go chest, legs, like however I do the split. I can go chest and triceps. I can go back and biceps. Then I can go legs and abs, and then redo the split however I want. But like I said, just easy to maintain. You don't got to do that much, and that's where the lifestyle part comes in, you know. It's just a bill you pay. I think one thing I heard that was cool was all like, you know, some parts of life are like washing the dishes, because the dishes is a chore that'll never be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always have to wash dishes. So now it's about raising your standard. Are you going to be the person that lets the dishes pile up and then have to do like a lot to get it out because now you can't eat because there's no dishes? Or are you going to be the person that has a system like, hey, they get to this point, dishwasher. That's going to be it for this video. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you got any tips on what you'd like to see me do in the future, you know, let me know. And I'm just documenting the journey. That way I don't just show up slim like I usually do, and then y'all be like, what? I'm gonna let everybody into the grind and everything like that. Because that's another thing is like, again, I'll get to a goal. It's just my mindset is shifting on maintaining a standard now. So this is so, you know, they're gonna accuse me of roids or something crazy, and I'm gonna just pull up these clips. But yeah, that's it, man. Catch y'all on the next one.